Takeoff.
We are cleared for takeoff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is the place where real dialogue matters.
Make some noise for that sound, man.
It is time to take flight with Audio Airstrike.
You good? You dry heaving over here? What the heck is going on?
Nah, I'm just playing. What's going on, man?
Oh, yeah. So I was like, what the world?
I think I'm going to start doing that every single time we start the podcast. Just going to do random weird shit like that. You cool with that, right?
I'm going to have a lot to say about it. You keep on doing it.
That's content, Ev. That's what the game. That's the
Yeah,
name of the game, bro. It's content.
The next content we're going to have is me throwing you into Shepherd Pratt or getting you some mental health treatment,
Dude.
man, because lately you've been doing that. You've been in the fetal position the last couple episodes. I don't know what's going on.
You tried to do that, and it would be, you'd be ordering at the bar, and you'd be like, "Hey, can I get a let me get Ev on the Rocked, please."
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, Ev on the Rocked.
I'd like to see that.
It'd be Merry Fistmas.
I'd like to see that.
Fists flying.
Yeah, okay. It sounds good. I'm going to defend myself, by the way. I will defend myself, by the way. If I had to, I would.
It would be Happy Kwanzaa.
I don't do the tough guy talk. I would just say I defend myself. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to defend myself. Regardless of what anybody think. I'm going to defend myself. That's it.
Take us into the pod, Ev, before I get physical.
This ain't your first time. Anyway, so, so as everybody knows at this point, Trump is officially in office.
Yeah.
So, and I kind of looked at the inauguration, and I felt like I was watching a sitcom more than an inauguration.
Well, that's what you get with Trump as president, man. I mean, that's part of the package. Is you never know what's going to happen next. He might get shot at. He might say some weird shit. He might a combination of both.
You never know with him.
That's what I'm saying. What do you mean? You trying to say that you know what's going to happen next when you watch those things? Don't.
No, it's like a sitcom, dude. It's like you don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know what turns or what what obstacles may come up or what might happen. You don't know what twists and turns might be going on. It's one of them situations, man. At this point, I look at it like an HBO show. You know
That's
what I
a
mean?
fact, yeah.
I look at it like you're watching,
Succession or
Succession or Breaking Bad to a degree, or you know what I mean, stuff of that nature. Like I look at it like that, or with some of them people are looking The Walking Dead. Some of the people didn't age well. I ain't gonna name names. Y'all just look. Let me know what y'all think.
The celebrities at the inauguration.
Some of them, I mean,
name names. What do we care?
Names. I'm not gonna name
Why?
names.
Do you know them?
No, I don't know them personally. If I knew them, you think I would be over here?
They're celebrities. We shouldn't care about how they feel. We could make fun of them. They're celebrities.
They got the money, but they aging like milk. Boy, I don't know what's going on. Some of the celebrities though do look good. I will say this though.
Hot even.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor.
Well, huh?
Huh? Go ahead, man.
I mean, Conor McGregor does keep himself in shape. Let me see. That gets a pause.
I didn't want to say it.
That gets a pause.
I want to say it. That was a little bit saucy. That comment was
You
a little
just
bit.
pointed
fruity.
out. You said that. Oh, it's a celebrity track. You said Conor McGregor. I said nothing. I let it slide.
I can't help that. Like your comment was kind of saucy. That's all I'm going to say.
My comment, because I said he had a good physique. My comment was kind of saucy.
Come on, don't say it again.
What did
Pause.
I say? What did I say?
Pause, Ev.
He had a good physique.
God, man.
What
Jesus Christ.
What
It's
do
a
you want me to do?
podcast.
Yeah, it's a podcast. If I'm comfortable with myself to look at somebody and go, you know what? They did a good. Whoa, now I ain't doing all that. Now I'm not doing all that. I can tell somebody they got a good physique, but I'm not doing all that.
Okay. Fair enough. That's not what you told me off camera.
Oh my God. Anyway. Yeah, that's crazy. This man talking crazy. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I think the one thing that I possibly took away from it, and I think we can kind of get into this. I noticed there was some backlash of Snoop Dogg, Nelly, and Soulja Boy, and a couple other people performing.
I had a stacked lineup. I didn't even know they were there. I just
Event?
saw Conor McGregor, Logan Paul, the Paul brothers, and then some of the Nelk boys. That's who I saw.
Yeah.
Were there for some weird. Well, I know the Nelk boys are going to be there automatically.
Right.
Paul brothers, I sort of expected. McGregor, I really didn't expect.
Right. But I mean, they ended up performing. There was backlash about, like all skin folk ain't kin folk and this and that. I'm like, let me explain something to y'all. just because somebody is performing at an event, and I get it that people have their whatever their issues about Trump or whatever that nature. Like, y'all gotta understand something, man. Like, not everybody views certain things how you view them. Like, for them, it was, oh, I get a chance to perform my music in front of this diverse crowd, a different setting. I'm gonna go do that, and they're paying me good. I'm gonna go do that.
Probably
Now,
more the pay. I don't think so. I don't think Snoop Dogg was like, dude, you know what? You know what demographic I have to target next is white, middle aged. For the most part, I'd probably assume that was. Oh no, didn't Latinos make up the majority of his vote this time around? Who made up the majority of Trump's vote?
I will definitely say that it was, and from my perspective, it was Latinos, males.
Middle aged white guys.
I would probably say no. It wouldn't be just white guys. I would say African American men voted for him to a degree.
I just know the white guys
Um,
that voted for him the first time around were like they all lived on cul-de-sacs, and they're like, we feel oppressed. We need a voice for middle-aged white guys, and that man is Donald Trump.
They were sitting at cul-de-sac like, I feel
Attacked.
offended. I feel attacked.
Yeah,
I will put in my vote right now.
Yeah, 3 cars coming down the cul-de-sac. One of them's the mailman.
Right.
The other 2 is the guy's wife, and then their neighbor. And he's like, "Well, I fear for the safety of my kids inside my home."
Right. They park in front of your house and you don't recognize the car. You sitting over there like, who is that?
Yeah, he's like, I've been waiting to use this, and they pull out their fucking modified AR-15. You know what? This is getting a little bit too dark. The bump stock
that they 3D printed off their
Yeah.
Tesla printer.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's how it goes.
Yeah. But
What would Elon do?
But I'm sitting over there and I'm like this. I kind of get a little taken back the second that somebody of my race turns around and performs at a spot that I guess that the mass majority of African Americans don't agree with. It's, oh, their blackness is already questioned. And I'm sitting over there, I'm going, and trust me, there have been instances where I've seen that being like, okay, I could get where people are coming from. But the knee-jerk reaction to say that off rip when we don't really know all the details. And also, folks, like, like at the end of the day, these are music artists. And I'm gonna say something quite frankly. We gotta stop putting music artists on a pedestal. Yes, they are role models. Yes, they move, they change culture around. Yes, they are very influential. But if you expect a music artist to maneuver around like a politician every single time, I don't care what their brand is, you are going to be disappointed every single time. I mean, hell, you're already disappointed by your politician that you follow, whoever that may be, or whatever side it's on. But I just be looking at that. I'm like, why do y'all put. I respect music artists to a degree for their artistry. I do not expect them, and this is just me, after what I've seen in my life and stuff of that nature, I don't expect them to really be on the front lines when it comes to political stuff, especially if they're not educated enough to handle that.
That shouldn't really be a part of the job description, though. When you're talking about any celebrity, I mean,
Right.
Sure, you have pull, but it's up to you to do with that what you must. Because I feel like for me, a lot of these musicians, and this is another part that really doesn't get talked about a lot, is the people that assume, like, either if you vehemently disagree with them or you vehemently agree with them, and either way you're making a strong opinion, it's like you have to remember these people, most people that aren't famous and don't have, like, just go to a 9 to 5, clock in, clock out, and then go home, they already have a misinformed political opinion because they don't have enough time to really dive into the deep facts. If you think that songwriters, celebrities, actors, actresses have any time at all to research any of what they're saying, you're dumb. You know what I mean? Like, dude, the fact that we're sitting here, like, we think that people, especially the actresses that like post up oh yeah, like people are being slaughtered in whatever country right now.
They don't have no clue what that is.
But yeah, they didn't even know what the country was, probably what the country was or that it existed 2 seconds ago. And their handler was probably like, oh, this is something that you could like sauce up on your story. It's probably a good look. And they're like, okay, oh yeah, wow. They see it's like, okay, yeah, women in Iraq are being, brutally whatever, you know what I mean, subjugated to horrible torture methods. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, my assistant sends me that. I trust my assistant. I'm going to put this up because it's probably a good cause. But most of them, I feel like if you ask the celebrities for their real in-depth takes on the situation, they'd be like, well, I think it's bad. And of course, that doesn't mean it's not bad, but the people that get like really invested into what these celebrities are saying, it's just like, keep in mind that on a day-to-day level, you wouldn't argue with someone that didn't know. Well, some people might actually, but you shouldn't argue with someone that has no idea what they're talking about because it's a pointless argument. Um, why on earth you would think that a celebrity would be any different when they have less time is dumb to me. So it's like, stop getting so mad at people that you know aren't putting in the time unless they've shifted their careers to be more political, like certain people I've seen that haven't put in the time to really do the research on the topics that they're talking about. Like Snoop Dogg, probably, you're right, probably got a check and was like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Yeah,
Who gives a
especially
fuck?
and at this stage in the game, like Snoop is a legend, national treasure at this point. So he has gotten to the point now. He can show up at any type of event, no matter what is going on or who's around and this and that. He's a worldwide. He's arguably, if we're not talking about music or who's better at bars or this and that, from just a visual standpoint, he's probably easily the most recognizable rapper, music artist in the last 50 some years. I'll say at least 30. If you turn around and I'm just talking about in terms of famous.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in terms of if he goes to another country, they know who he is. That's what Snoop is. So if we're going to turn around and expect Snoop, and yes, because of what he went through and because of his past or whatever he's seen or have been around, and he's been a part of some epic hip hop moments that have spoken straight into the culture, he's now on the other side of that where he's older, wiser. And the thing about it is he is going to touch different fields of people, whether they agree with him politically or not, because of what he brings to the table and because of the respect over his artistry. Yeah, he may pop up at an event like that and do a couple songs and whatnot and hang out, especially if it's something that is of a current pop culture moment. Yeah, you expect to see him there. He was just on The Voice not too long ago. You know what I mean? And he's doing that. So now we're seeing him in these different types of situations that aren't hip hop centric always, because of I'm gonna be honest with you, just years of leveling the playing field and cross promoting and doing these crossovers. Like, he's known for doing this. If you look at what he's done, this is the same person that was doing stuff with Martha, doing different cookbooks and different uh TV and media avenues with Martha Stewart. Nobody would have thought to put those together. You know what I'm saying? He's known for doing this. So my thing is, y'all are putting a little bit too much dip on your chip, expecting these music artists to maneuver around like an MLK or a Malcolm X. Like, don't expect that from these guys, or you won't be so heavily disappointed. And also, y'all got to take into account too that the reality of the situation is that it's like what Coop mentioned before. Nowadays, it's kind of tough to have a honest and logical conversation about anything political now, or even to have a conversation about where your views differ. He's 10 years younger than me. He's one of the few people that I know personally I could probably have a conversation with. And if our views tend to be a little bit different about a certain thing, it ain't going to come down to like fist and knockouts and tackles. Now, if he tried what he tried before earlier this episode, it might be a different story. But other than that,
Succeeded.
but other than that, it's one of those situations where it's like, it don't have to be fisticuffs all the time. We're at a point now where it's kind of like, oh, if you don't agree with my views, F you, you're my enemy. They ain't got to be like that all the time. What it should be, though, is how you handle when somebody disagrees with your views speaks to the level of emotional, political intelligence, but also it speaks to the level of maturity that you have. I hate to break it to y'all, but there are different racial groups, and not everybody within those racial groups think all the same. Yes, there are certain plights and certain things that happen, and we are not ignoring that. Especially if you have seen the history of this podcast, we have definitely not ignored it. However, one of the things that we do have to take to account is that we have to be realistic and understand that a group of people are not a monolith. We are a monolith in terms of certain things because we understand the certain plights. But when it comes to little nuances and stuff and case by case situations, yes, we're gonna think differently on that. I get it. Chrisette Michelle did perform for Trump. Everybody had something to say. Damn near messed up her career. That's a perfect example. But nobody, let's be for real. Nobody's gonna say squat about Snoop, Nelly, or Soldier Boy out there performing. This is gonna be forgettable, and then they're gonna be performed somewhere else for
Yeah.
y'all to cheer again.
Yeah.
And I know what people are saying. Well, it's two-faced. Chrisette Michelle lost her career. I totally understand that, but it's a different level of star power. No offense, no disrespect to Chrisette Michelle, like her music. However,
Like, I think Snoop's just not beholden to the public anymore.
yeah,
Like, he has enough money where he could just be gone.
right. And at this point, it's like there hasn't been any. There has nothing. There is nothing that Snoop has done that makes you go, "Oh yeah, we need to cancel him now."
Yeah.
You ain't never heard his name and no crazy stuff outside of early in the 90s when he was dealing with that. You know what I mean? When he was dealing with the murder case and stuff of that nature that he got off of. Outside of that, since then, you've never even heard him in the middle of no stuff like that. So we talking about something from damn near 30 years ago. And now you see him, he's discography, major, movies, major. Different stuff he's involved with. Came out with Gin and Juice, a drink that him and Dr. Dre collaborated on. All this different stuff. And we want to ridicule him because of where he decided to perform at?
What's the people with no lives that ridicule where he performed at? Like, I don't really care. And that's because I pay bills.
Yeah, but the issue is, man, it's like if you go commentate somewhere where somebody's political views are different,
It's a job. People could never fathom the fact that someone would just do it because it's a job.
it's a job to you. But if they see
Would I do a commentary job for the mafia? If the pay was right, then yeah.
it's a job to you.
Not
However,
if they're murdering anyone in front of me.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? It's a job to you, but somebody's gonna look at you and go, "Oh, you align with that? Oh, hell no."
Then that's a dumb
Cancel
thing
him.
to think.
They ain't even going to know. The sad part about it is that's how the internet is. They're not even going to ask no questions.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Oh, I agree. But I'm just telling you how people think.
Yeah, those people, that's like a lack of critical thinking. That's like, oh, I see him there. That mean he there because he agree? It's like, dude, Snoop might have just been like, it's a pretty good payout. Fucking Trump, whatever. You know, like, I'm not the biggest fan of the guy, but like, performance is performance, and I want the money. Like, I want to go to Bali or something. I could just like, because to him, that's probably getting like extra $20 or something to go. Well, yeah, I could just use that to like go towards a trip or something, and then I could just, boom, 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 cruise in and out. Doesn't even have to like the guy. You don't even have to like someone to perform at their shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's also the same thing. It's like, it's not exactly the same vein, but it's like, to sit here and think that like Trump supporters don't put. I've known many a rabid Trump supporter frat guy that loves him from some Snoop Doggy Dogg. Does that align Snoop with Trump? If his music is being played with people that enjoy Trump? Because if you really think about it, the only separating thing that is making people, I think, angry is the implication that Snoop like dapped Trump up or something and was like, yo, I'm going to make this music because I don't respect my own culture. It's like, maybe Trump's PR team just sent something out to him and it's like, hey, you want to make music for guys that still use Snapchat when they're 28? Come through to our inauguration. You could play music. Some of the older white dudes in the crowd could be like, I think I've seen him on a mortgage commercial. and then you can cruise on out of there. And Snoop was like, all right, what's the big deal? He doesn't have to endorse Trump to play music at his shit. And that's the thing. It's a separation. You got to use your brains, people. Now, if there's like written documents and there could be documentation of Snoop and Trump like hanging out and maybe Trump threw him a bone or something, then yeah, that's a different story. And if there is, then I apologize. And I'm sure you guys will berate me in the comments for it. But from what I've seen, there's not really like a real or any evidence of that. And then there's also the argument you can make, like, you know, people would probably say, oh, as someone that's high up in the community, you don't want to be like, I don't want to speak on, you know, your guys' behalf, Ev, but it's like, is there a feeling there that some people have of him like putting out to the man or something like that?
I think that
because I mean that's kind of valid, I guess.
I think it's one of those things when I think what will happen is that when it comes to African American people, I think that
barbecue chicken. No, sorry, no. I saw my ex just followed me on Instagram.
Oh,
no, I didn't mean because barbecue chicken without any context sounds crazy in the conversation we're having.
Oh, okay, got you. No worries. We'll talk about that offline. So one of the things that we have to understand as African American people is that one of the things that culturally is clear to us is that we take pride in entertainers that look out, advise, also bring awareness to the struggle, plight, or understanding of how we move as people. Now, with that being said, as I said before, yes, us as African Americans, and I'm speaking because I am one, there is certain things that we all as African Americans agree on. There is also truth that there are certain subjects and topics where we are not all a mile length. So we all don't think the same.
Which is better, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and you want that. You don't want
and that has been something that a lot of people outside of the race just don't understand. I could look at this incident and go, Snoop is the same person that took a bunch of inner city kids out of the hood, got them on a football field. Some of the people that are in the league, some of the people that were in the league during the 2010s, even the 2020s, have stories about being at Snoop's football camp. Snoop put that in place to get kids off the inner streets.
True, yeah.
People forget that.
How much has he done for the community?
But people don't bring this stuff up, and then they sit over here and go, oh, Snoop's a coon because he was sitting over there performing for Trump.
Jesus.
Oh, Nelly's a coon because he's sitting there performing for Trump. Soulja Boy's a coon. Like, before we go off and call somebody all these derogatory names, at least do the due diligence and pull up and research about what have these people have done for the community already and are currently doing for the community. Because let's be honest with you, some of these celebrities that are moving around doing stuff for the community are not always putting their stuff out there. And I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of hate the fact that if I have to prove that I'm down by having my phone out and showing you that I'm down and I'm down with the cause to make it clear and to show evidence. But on the flip side of that, if I do that, you telling me, oh, you broadcasting too much. Why don't you just do it for the strength of this? Why don't you? It's a damned if you do and a damned if you don't type of situation.
Oh, yeah.
Before we criticize certain performers for doing certain things, let's look at the track record. If they have a track record where they're just not doing anything for the community, not doing anything for African American people, by all means, hold them accountable. But if they have the track record of actually looking out for people in the hood that they grew up in, teaching them a different way, teaching them how to be the entrepreneur, teaching them how to grow, teach them how to be a better version of themselves, what's the issue and what's the problem? Because in my personal opinion, Snoop has a track record of doing that over and over and over and over and over again, to the point, Nelly, I don't know because I don't know what he's done for the community. I haven't researched it. Soulja Boy, I don't know because I haven't researched it, so I can't speak to them.
I probably Soulja Boy. I can't imagine Soulja Boy's done that much charity work.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't research it. I haven't
strike me as a guy that would do that. No.
Yeah, I haven't researched it. But the reality of the situation is I know for a fact Snoop has put in the work because I've seen it firsthand.
Snoop's the GOAT.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Anyone that
Bruh.
doesn't like Snoop, I'll fight you. I don't know.
You
No,
just see
yeah,
50 people lined up ready to
dude,
fight. Well, you will fight me, huh?
you heard that? You heard the air kind of like go out of my. I was like, when I realized the implications that people
Yeah,
be
the
like,
implications that could
address.
happen. Yeah.
Let me pull up, and I'm like, oh man, now I have
Right.
to fight 7 grown men.
Yep. Don't let it be
Great.
somebody from LA. Oh, what you say?
Dude, yeah. Well, no, wouldn't they'd be on my side then, because I'm defending their guy, Snoop Doggy Dog.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah, true. Never mind. Yeah. You might be all right.
Might just be the New Yorkians that I have to watch out for when I go back to my home turf.
Yeah, but that's the thing, man. I just it was one of those things that I kind of noticed on the internet, and I was like, why is this always a thing when one of us kind of does an unorthodox performance that normally, like, to a lot of people, they wouldn't like. And also I know a lot of African Americans are thinking this. They're at a political Republican event. Think of any stereotype you want to think of about a white Republican event. They're thinking all of these stereotypes about this white Republican like our inaugurational event, and you are performing there? What the? That's what a lot of people were thinking. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, we have to sometimes stop putting people in boxes. You don't know what the business is going on. You don't know the inner workings of everything. Now, granted, I get it. There are some of you that don't trust the Trump administration. You have your reasons. I totally understand. There's some of y'all that do. I get it. I totally understand. I'm moderate. I'm kind of in the middle. I don't trust anybody, regardless of what their political affiliation is. But the reality of the situation is this. Can we give at least Snoop a little bit more grace? And y'all just coming at him saying whatever? Like, at the end of the day, like, this dude has, the track record has done enough to help people, not just in his community, but abroad. And there's literally a digital and a visual footprint of him doing that on a consistent basis. I think out of everybody that was there, I think he needs more grace and more, respect than what he's been shown this past week. I will say that much.
Oh, I mean, it's a what have you done for me lately?
Yeah,
type of society.
I hate how it's become that, because it used to be, what does the track record say?
Yeah. Well, it's not like that anymore. It's a very instant gratification type society.
Yeah, people got short-term memory loss.
Of course they do. Of course.
Forgot this man was leading football camps, getting your knucklehead son out of college. You gonna turn around and getting your knucklehead? It's short-term memory loss. These people are forgetting he was getting your crazy kid that was in the streets, off the streets and on the football field. And
in the Snoop Doggy Dog camp.
Yeah,
we teach you how to catch.
Next thing you know, he's an undrafted free agent, and then gets on an NFL team. Snoop helped out with that. You're gonna be mad at him still? Come on now.
No, you're not gonna be mad at him.
No, you shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be. Definitely,
I'll
you shouldn't
you
be.
if you're mad at him. What does that? I don't know what that means.
It sounded like you say you roofie him.
No, I thought like roof meant like you just like hook off on someone.
Oh no,
hit him with a gigantic.
I thought you were gonna
bomb
drop
of a right hand.
Sound like you was about to go. Oh, I'm gonna drop this pill in your drink.
That's crazy. No, I'm not gonna hit you with a Bill Cosby. No, that's Eddie Murphy, right?
No.
Oh,
that's definitely Bill Cosby.
Okay, sorry, Eddie Murphy. My bad.
Don't put that on Eddie at all.
Yeah. No, Eddie's a good guy.
Don't put that on Eddie at all. So, real quick, I wanted to talk to you about this. So you got just switching gears here. Oh yeah, my last thought about the whole Snoop thing. Yeah, give people more grace, figure things out, and y'all got to give people more grace, man. Like this, I need y'all to really educate yourselves politically, so that way you can be totally. Don't listen. I'm telling y'all this. Do not listen to friends, family, none of that. Do the research for yourself and go from there. Now on to you. Now I heard you got.
Pause. Now I want to do you? That's crazy.
What? I said on. I said
no. You said you want to do me.
No, I didn't. I said on to you.
All right, we got 2 questions. We got 2 minutes left. Probably a minute 30 now.
Probably. So you said you got a fight potentially coming up in June.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. So I'll definitely come out support.
Yeah, man.
And we'll see what's going on from there. Well, with that being said, this has been another edition of Audio Airstrike. I will never give you a shout out about your fight again. You sitting there flexing your muscle on the camera. Y'all tune in next week, man.
See y'all.